Let's take an early look here at Modern Warfare 3's first major update, Season 1, releasing shortly after the game comes out. We're going to have a bunch of content from new multiplayer maps, weapons, a brand new Warzone map, a new battle pass with a bunch of cosmetics, and much more. We're going to break it all down in today's video. Be sure to subscribe for more COD update videos like this. But first up here, when is this update releasing? MW2 came out October 28th, 2022, and 19 days later on November 16th, we got Season 1. So for MW3 this time around, that's releasing on November 10th. 19 days later is Wednesday, November 29th. So that's our expected release date here for Season 1. That may change, but that is pretty soon after the game comes out, which is really exciting. But before we break down a bunch of the content here we're getting for this major update, we have a quick word from the sponsor of today's video. Before we go through some more stuff here, let's talk about a game that's already out right now, Raid Shadow Legends, the sponsor of today's video. You guys probably know about it by now. It's one of the biggest and most expansive games out there. It's free to download on all mobile devices and even on PC. You could play how you want, from a more casual experience in the campaign to a more competitive time fighting against other players in the PvP arena. There's also over 700 unique champions to use, all with tons of different abilities. There are so many different strategies as well to complete the endless challenges in the game, from fighting bosses to entering the dungeons, the Doom Tower, and much more. You could also get shards from completing matches, and you'll open them in the portal to unlock a variety of new champions. The more rare the shard, the better champion you're likely to get. I personally love how well made the game is. The graphics, the fighting is super smooth. The detailed statistics for all the champions are really cool to see here. Now, do you want a free legendary champion in the game? Probably, right? Here's Sun Wukong, Raid's take on the mischievous Monkey King. Again, available to you for free. All you have to do is log into Raid on 7 different days between August 22nd and October 23rd to get your hands on this awesome champion. No heroic journey to the west required. Just log in. That's it. There's a lot going on in Raid, and there's even more updates coming soon, so definitely be sure to hop in and check it out. For new players, use my link in the description or scan the QR code up on screen to get a free starter pack with this cool in-game loot. Again, just click the link in the description, pass the tutorial, and I'll see you in the game. Each accomplished tutorial helps me boost the content quality for you guys to enjoy, so be sure to get those tutorials done. Thanks again to Ray for sponsoring today's video. Now, in terms of download sizes and preloads as well, it's still too early to tell what they're doing this time around. Obviously, for previous updates for MW2 this year, PlayStation players always get to preload this update early. For most of the updates, besides for Season 1 of MW2, Xbox and PC players have to wait for the actual release time to download this update, which sucks when the update is super large, like the recent Season 5 Reloaded update, which was 60 to 100 gigs for some people. I mean, it takes people sometimes so long, hours upon hours, to download these updates here. So hopefully, number one, all platforms are able to preload at least a day in advance, so they have enough time to get that update downloaded. And two, hopefully the updates overall for the new seasons and any content they add, hopefully those updates are just smaller in their file size. Hopefully we don't have any more 50 to 100 gig updates. I know they say they have these big updates and they further optimize the file sizes here, but at some point the updates have to be smaller. So again, I'm hoping for MW3 these updates are just a lot smaller. I'll be sure to update you guys on what we're getting there with that. But for actual content here, first up, let's go through what we're seeing for this battle pass. Of course, we know kind of what we're getting here. We're going to have some similar vibes from the MW2 season, of course. You have Task Force 141 returning. You have the Coney Soldiers as well, a big part of this game, a big part of the campaign. Based on the pre-order rewards here, it's almost a guarantee we're going to get new Captain Price skins throughout the year, new soap skins, new ghost skins as well. The, generic Task Force 141 operators will return throughout the year, and of course, probably in the Season 1 battle pass as well. Not too surprising. That's cool to see. Now, the new element here is the Makarov side of things. The Coney Soldiers, Makarov's, PMC teams. We're going to have some new operators there. I think guarantee we're going to get new Makarov skins as well, which is fire. You're already getting one for pre-ordering MW3, which is cool, but for the actual Season 1 update here in the Battle Pass, the final operator there could easily be another version of Makarov. Maybe it could be Yuri returning from the OG MW3 2011 campaign. That would be fire as well. It could be new Coney Soldiers introduced in the MW3 campaign. Once we play that campaign, we'll get to know more of the characters and we'll see them in this Battle Pass here. Overall, though, I think the theme could be fire if they continue with this red theme here. It'll probably look really sick, and we already got a sneak peek here at some other skins we're probably seeing in this game here. This is from the MW3 Multiplayer gameplay preview. We have a shot of what looks like to be some Shadow Company soldiers on the left and in the middle, and on the right there, it looks like a Coney soldier potentially. So we're gonna see again Shadow Company returning as well. They will be a part of this here. They should still be friendly, of course, unless something else happens in the MW3 campaign that we don't know about just yet. You know, most likely they'll be friendly this time around, and we'll be fighting the Coney soldiers. But regardless, solid skins there. You know, we're gonna have similar vibes to what we're seeing in MW2 here, but it still is cool to see. The Shadow Company skins are always fire, and I know a lot of people have been asking for some Shadow Company and other mil sim type skins in this game. I'll put some images up on screen. Hopefully we see more of those in this game as well. Now for new multiplayer maps here, here's what Sledgehammer already confirmed. Expect the flow of free post-launch content, including core 6v6 maps and additional multiplayer content to continue after launch. As previously stated, we'll have over 12 all-new core 6v6 maps in our seasons, with 3 all-new 6v6 maps hitting in Season 1 and 3 all-new 6v6 maps in Season 2, along with additional maps and modes throughout future seasons. So off the bat, they're saying Season 1, guaranteed 3 6v6 maps here, which is super exciting. Now, someone actually responds here. This is a valid question. When you say new, do we mean new maps, like uniquely made maps, or more remakes that are technically new? And the MW2 Ghost says this here, brand new. And I've been told a few OG MW3 remasters as well. So here's the question. Those 3 maps, are those all 3 uniquely made maps? Is there an MW3 remastered map included in those first 3 DLC maps? We're not so sure there. I would assume that probably what we're seeing is 2 uniquely made maps and then 1 MW3 remaster, which I'm completely fine with there. Now, obviously, again, for the new maps, we don't know exactly where those are going to take place. It could be from parts of the campaign, of course. We'll see where the campaign takes us. We've seen some gameplay of the campaign, of course. We know some areas where we're going to be. One for sure, part of the campaign is Verdansk, so potentially we could have some multiplayer map locations in different areas of Verdansk, which would be a pretty cool throwback overall. If it's in the campaign, I mean, that would be completely fine, and Verdansk looks so good in this game. It looks like it was completely remade here. The graphics, everything looks so much better, so having some MP locations throughout Verdansk would be fire, honestly. But would that be completely new? I guess not necessarily, because we did play on Verdansk for a couple of years. Obviously, we'll see where else we're going. We're going around the world there in MW3's campaign. So, you know, let me know down below any cool locations you would want to see based on the first gameplay trailer we got for MW3's campaign. Now, for the MW3 remastered map here, that's where I get super excited. Because, again, you guys probably know MW3, one of my favorite CODs of all time, back in 2011. There are so many fire maps they could bring back that have never been remade before. So let's run through these classic MW3 maps here. First up, Arcaden. Insanely cool map. Guaranteed this should return. I mean, if it's not Season 1, it should be at some point during the year. Arcaden is up there for me. Bakara, another really solid map here. Dome is a classic, but we just saw Dome. We've seen Dome a couple of times in recent Call of Duties. I like Dome, but I kind of wouldn't mind them, you know, not bringing it back. At least wait for the end of the game's life cycle. If you have to bring it back, just wait later on, because we've seen Dome a couple too many times, honestly. Next here, Downturn. Underrated map, really cool. Not my favorite from the game, but still really solid. I don't see them remaking this one, though. Bootleg is a really good map. Again, I kind of don't see them remaking this one, but a really solid one. I would love for it to return eventually. Carbon, you know, also pretty good. Not my favorite, but it's a solid map here. Hard Hat is an absolute classic. We have seen this return in Modern Warfare 2019 and previous CODs. You know, I wouldn't want to see this in this game, but I would rather them bring back other maps first before they bring back Hard Hat. Lockdown, super cool map. I would love to see this one return here. Fallen, another solid map. Not in the top tier of this game, in my opinion, but still really cool. Outpost, a solid map as well. Not up there. It's in the lower half of the game for me, but still really cool. Really cool atmosphere on this map, actually. Resistance is a classic, and for some reason, it has never been remade. That should definitely return, in my opinion. Mission as well, so fire. Mission should 100% return. Seatown as well, such an absolute classic. Seatown should guaranteed return here. Interchange, pretty cool. Not my favorite, but it was a cool map overall. Underground, another just insanely cool location. A sick map, fire layout. That should definitely return there. Village, Great map as well. So many great memories on Infected there. But those are the launch maps for MW3, which honestly, if you want me to say, like, what are the first 3 DLC maps I want to see in terms of MW3 remakes, I would say Arcaden #1, Lockdown, and then Seatown. I would say, oh, actually, but Underground, Village. There's so many good maps. Top 5: Arcaden, Lockdown, Seatown, Underground, and Village. And maybe we'll make it 6, Mission as well. Those are the first 6 maps I want to see remade there. Let me know down below your opinions on that. And throughout the DLC seasons as well, will we get the other MW2 2009 DLC maps? That's definitely possible as well. If you guys don't remember from that game, we had Carnival, Trailer Park, Fuel, Bailout, Storm, Salvage, Overgrown. Really cool maps there. Now, they did have some COD 4 remakes in that game as well, which honestly I kind of want to break from COD 4, but they were classics, and maybe some of you guys want to see them return. Strike, Crash, Vacant. You know, honestly, we've seen those maps so many times. I would rather them not bring them back for now. I think MW3 deserves a bit more love here, and if anything, bring back the MW2 2009 DLC maps that were uniquely made for that game. But again, let me know your opinions on that down below. We do have information here that we are getting some MW3 remasters, though, which is so exciting there. Can't wait to see what we get. Now, for Warzone here, this is a pretty big deal. We're getting a brand new Warzone map, and along that, we're going to have a bunch of these gameplay features for MW3's multiplayer integrated into Warzone to make it a much more seamless, faster experience, more like Warzone 1. Warzone 2 was a cool idea, honestly, and there were a lot of interesting features, but for me, it was just way too slow, and it didn't have the same spark that Warzone 1 had. So for the new Warzone map here, having all these really cool MW3 features just to make the game mode a bit faster paced and a bit more smooth like it was in the past is going to be really sick. But for the map here itself, what exactly are we getting? Because there's been a long debate here for where this map's going to take place. Originally, we thought it would be Las Almas, and it could still be Las Almas, honestly, which was a part of, you know, MW2's campaign. We've seen many images of the, you know, map layout there teased in the campaign. We've seen a bunch of leaks about Las Almas Warzone POIs as well, which I'll put up on screen. You know, there's been a lot of stuff regarding this here, and it seems like potentially this map has been transformed to take place in Urzikstan, so this is definitely not confirmed here, but Urzikstan is actually right near Verdansk. Obviously, this is another location here that we've known about for a while, since probably, you know, Modern Warfare 2019, right? Apparently, in the recent Season 5 intro cutscene, Urzikstan was teased here because Russian Kony soldiers may be infiltrating there. That may potentially happen in the campaign for MW3 here. We're going to see a lot of stuff happening here, but again, Urzikstan still seems like a cool location for a new Warzone map, although Las Almas would have been really sick in my opinion. A map taking place in Mexico, or at least that region, would have been fire. Another Middle Eastern map is not a bad thing, but I feel like we've seen so many maps take place in the Middle East. They're having a different environment like Mexico would have been fire, but again, nothing's confirmed here. Of course, MW3 Zombies is expected to take place on the new Warzone map, and we did get an image of zombies, so we're seeing an image of pretty much the new Warzone map here. We have obviously some Middle Eastern signage in the background. It seems like we will be in the Middle East. This seems like Urzikstan here, so that's cool. Not a big deal. I would like to see Las Almas release in the future potentially. Who knows? Let me know down below. But for some more stuff here on this Warzone map, let's go through some info. Metaphor tweeted this out. New Warzone map coming in MW3 looks amazing. Of course, slide canceling is there. All of the MW3 MP features will be brought over to Warzone, which is really cool. No giant hill in the middle of the map. Tons of buildings and POIs, unlike Caldera. Lots of areas that look memorable. I think it will be a lot of people's favorite map. Bold statement there. We'll see very soon. Downtown is very Verdansk-like, with the biggest building being Overwatch from MW3 DLC at the top, very reminiscent of Blackout's construction site. So first of all, Overwatch, the MW3 DLC map, I think it was like the first update for that game. Fire map. I have so many memories playing that map, so that being a part of the new Warzone map is so sick, and we'll probably see other maps remade in certain POIs on this new Warzone map, like we saw a bunch of the OG MW2 maps remade in certain parts of Al Mazrah, for example. Now, Countdown from COD 4 is on the map as well. The game looks exactly like MW2, but improved, hoping they make some animation smoother, faster, so of course we know it's going to be a lot smoother and faster now. less open fields, and more building-based battles. Looks like tons of opportunity for regaining, and honestly, wouldn't be surprised if they tried pushing player limit past 150 again. This map has a ton of Verdansk inspiration and little to no inspiration from Al-Mazrah and Caldera, which for a lot of people is probably a good thing here. And again, I guess that kind of makes sense because if this is Urzikstan, it does take place very close to where Verdansk took place, so I guess you would have some similar vibes in a similar location. So again, can't wait for that. We're going to get more gameplay regarding this map at COD Next, which will take place on October 5th. Can't wait for that. But overall, the Warzone map sounds like it could be pretty cool. Now, for new weapons here, we don't know exactly what we're getting. A bunch, if not all, of the MW3 weapons did leak out. These are the launch weapons, but the problem is we don't know which ones will be saved for DLC. Obviously, as you guys know, they already make a lot of the weapons here, and there's a lot of code for future DLC weapons. We just don't know which ones are DLC weapons and which ones are launch weapons. We'll see when the game comes out what weapons are left over in the code, of course, but just based on weapons we want to see here, you know, I'm just looking back at past MW3 weapons. I want to see a lot of those classic weapons return here. Just to name a few from the ARs here, we have the M4A1, a classic weapon. The Scar as well could return. Not so sure if it's going to be the MW2 one or the MW3 one, but that could definitely return for sure. The G36C, the ACR, of course, we're seeing an image of a soldier holding it from MW3, so we're most likely getting it here, but I could easily see them releasing this as the Season 1 weapon. They've done this in the past where obviously they tease different content before the game comes out, but it doesn't actually release until a certain future DLC update. So I could easily see them waiting to release the ACR for Season 1's Battle Pass. We'll see very soon what happens there. For other weapons, SMGs, the MP5, UMP45, the PP90M1, classic weapon, P90, MP7 there. All just classic stuff here. For snipers, the Barrett 50 cal, the L118A, the Dragunov, MSR as well. Really classic weapons here. So we'll see what we end up getting. We're going to probably get some new weapons as well. Weapons similar to what we saw in MW2 2022 and all of that good stuff. I'll be sure to update you guys with more information there. And finally, for zombies here, this is very interesting because, of course, zombies is not going to be the classical round-based zombies that we know. It's going to be taking place on a brand new Warzone map, a large-scale map. It's going to be very similar to DMZ. You know, a lot of zombies details have been officially revealed already, where you infill in certain locations around the map, very similar to DMZ. In the beginning areas, you fight easy zombies, you fight some AI soldiers, you loot different items, again, very similar to DMZ there. You complete some different missions, and then as you go further into the map, you fight, you know, more powerful zombies. These are all zombie types from Black Ops Cold War, which is really cool. You complete even more missions. There's different story chapters you'll complete as well, where you're going to get different cutscenes at the end of each one to progress some type of story. There's also some Easter eggs as well we'll discover, so zombie sounds really cool. Now, in terms of updates here, what are we expecting to see? So for Season 1, are we going to get a new map for zombies? Probably not. If zombies takes place on the Warzone map, I mean, what else could they add? Maybe a new area to teleport to, but they're not going to add a whole other open world experience, right? So most likely the zombies updates will be similar to what we see with DMZ. Maybe a POI change, you know, obviously some new items, some new upgrades, some new missions. We'll definitely get new missions every season for MW3 for zombies, which is cool. Maybe new Easter eggs as well, new zombie boss types, new, you know, wonder weapons. That's what we're probably going to see. But in terms of actual maps there, we're most likely going to be playing on that base new Warzone map for the entirety of the year. Now, if we get new Resurgence maps releasing, then obviously maybe zombies will be playable on those as well, just like DMZ at Al-Mazrah at first, but then we got Ashika Island, and then you could play Ashika Island DMZ, and then we got Vondel. You could play DMZ on Vondel as well, which is really cool. And again, for the other locations there, for a new Easter egg, maybe they'll do a Building 21 type of thing, but for MW3 zombies, or a Koshi Complex type of thing as well. So besides for those little, you know, spin-off areas, most likely the base Warzone map will be the MW3 Zombies map for the entire year, which I think is fine. You know, in terms of new round-based maps, we're not going to probably see round-based at all this year, so that wouldn't make sense. And regardless, COD 2024 is releasing in a year, and that's when we'll get the good round-based content for every new update like we normally see with a Treyarch game. So that's that for now, but for zombies here, I feel like the updates could still be pretty solid overall. But that's it here for the first major update in Modern Warfare 2. A lot of exciting stuff to look forward to in this game in terms of multiplayer, Warzone, and zombies. I feel like this game could be actually pretty solid and probably a better version of MW2 this year. So let me know down below your expectations here. What do you want to see for this update that we didn't talk about in this video? For any of the modes, any content you want to see return, you want to see them add, any crossovers as well you want to see between different movies, IPs, etc., because we'll definitely get a lot of those here as well. Any different operators you want to see, let me know down below. Be sure to subscribe for more COD update videos like this. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.